Hey you guys, how you doing? I hope everybody is well. I'm doing a lot of revamping, so I don't even know if I'm going to keep this up. I might have lives and take them down until I'm really fully ready to relaunch this channel. But I'll drop in with you guys from time to time. We'll have some conversations, and I'll make them private afterwards. And whoever is able to catch them can catch them. But yes, we're going to talk about this smear campaign today. I find this appropriate to talk about because we're in the internet age, and anybody with a cell phone, a computer, they can post pretty much anything that they want. I mean, you can report items, but celebrities get dragged all day long. So common folks and just people, your friends, family, whatever, when you fall out with people, they're definitely able to turn into little internet bullies, And it's interesting to me because a lot of times the stuff that people won't even say to your face, they'll go on their cell phone and talk a bunch of smack. But the word smear campaign, this derived from narcissistic abuse. But anyone could have a smear campaign on someone. You don't necessarily have to be a narcissist to do that. That's just basically someone spreading rumors about you, twisting truths about your life, just lying on you and just trying to tell as many people as they can. Try to bring down your credibility, make you out to be something that you're not. And, today we could talk about why narcissists do this and why generally toxic people, what's the motive behind doing this, and how can we be thriving while someone is doing a smear campaign. Because on this channel, you guys, I really like for you to take a bigger perspective. See, these other people, that are doing the smear campaigns, they're very small-minded, chances are. Am I going to sit here and say that has a smear campaign ever damaged anybody? It's possible that a smear campaign can damage, depending on how you respond to it. So we're going to talk about that as well. But I figure I'd start the conversation out by talking about angles of the smear campaign that I don't really hear people talking about. A lot of people are very emotional because that's what the smear campaign is meant to do, to try to trigger you emotionally. But I want to ask you guys and challenge you all to get into your emotional maturity when it comes to this, because if you respond to a smear campaign out of your emotions, you have taken a bait, because these smear campaigns a lot of times is an invitation to spur up more drama and chaos. I mean, on its own, it's already doing that, but you'll be adding more energy to it, of course, by hopping in and, getting caught up in it purely from your emotions and off of your emotions. Because a lot of time the person who's doing the smear campaign is running off of their emotions too. Like if it was a narcissist that's doing this, you probably caused a narcissistic injury. Maybe you dumped them, you've distanced yourself from them, the relationship is over. And of course, them wanting to protect their image at all costs, right? It doesn't matter what they got to say, how they got to say it, who they got to say it to, how many lies, how many exaggerations, twist this, twist that. They're not even considering God. Like they don't care about repercussions, because there's repercussions to this. And it's higher level. There's confirmation from my cell phone. There's higher level things that they don't even consider. It's like, the mask drop and you figure them out and you decide to either accept the discard that they're doing, or you decide, hey, I'm going to dump you because I know who you are now. So now they feel like, getting petty with you and having this revenge. So it's like, oh, I got something for you. I'm going to try to destroy your life like you're God. You ain't destroying nobody's life. You're making yourself look like a damn fool. because a lot of times it brings out their other mental illnesses come to the surface here. This person will start being manic, especially a lower range narcissist. It's crazy. Like, I've seen a lower range narcissist turn their whole social media profile, and it made it all about smearing a person. Every post manically, like they severely need there's confirmation, they need inpatient and they need their meds, you know. But yeah, we don't want to respond from it from an emotional point. We want to keep our intelligence, because that's what they want. They want you to feel emotional. First of all, the person that's doing the smearing, let's pray to God that you've gotten to a place where their opinion doesn't mean a fucking thing to you. You know what I mean? Like, these low caliber people, who cares what they have to say at this point? They've already proven who they are. And if they do have some type of audience that doesn't really know them, you know, like on social media, or if it's some of their friends and families that probably do know them, but it's like, you know, such and such is just being such and such, you know, they may call them out on it, or they may not. You may not get to see that, whatever. But you have to get to a point to where you strip them of any importance, you know, like, what you think means nothing to me. Like, you have no character, you have no integrity, you have no emotional maturity. You've been kicked out of my kingdom. You know, if you kick somebody out of your kingdom and you're of the light and they're full of nastiness and darkness and evilness, you know, just completely emotionally stunted, yeah, they're going to throw a tantrum, you guys. And this is oftentimes what these smear campaigns are. They're throwing a tantrum because their plan didn't work, because you figured them out, because God blocked you from the bullshit, because you no longer want nothing to do with them. It could simply just be because you know the truth. And this could be just between you and them. Like, you know, like, I know who you are. I don't care what you're saying on your platform. I don't care how many strangers you can convince that don't know me, that's just taking your word for it. Who cares? You know, these people aren't paying your bills. They're not signing your checks. They're not a part of your everyday life. You know, these are the ways that we have to start looking at this. And I know it's hurtful, especially in the heart space, when you've had a private, intimate relationship with this person, because you can bet your bottom dollar when they do this smear campaign, anything that you confided in with them, they will find a way to twist it up, to bring it out, to, you know, share it with whoever they want to share it with, just to hurt you, you know, just to be spiteful. And sometimes this is all they have, especially if you were dealing with some lowrider, especially if you stooped and dated beneath yourself, or you were befriending and you let people come sit at your table that wasn't worthy. Number one, you know, this casting your pearls before swine. They're not going to appreciate a goddamn thing you did for them. And it's going to be further solidified, their disloyalty, their disrespect, you know, all of that stuff is going to be solidified during this smear campaign. Is basically reinforcing to you. It's reinforcing, you guys, why you can't fuck with them, why they have to stay out of your kingdom, why they will never sit at your table again. You know, all of these things, it's a reinforcement. And when you cared about this person, when you thought they were your friend, or you thought you guys were in a committed relationship, hell, it could even be your goddamn spouse, you know, whoever this person is, it can, you know, in your heart space is like, wow, that hurts my feelings. Like, I thought we were having private conversations, or I thought this person really gave a fuck about me. Now, anything I've told you, you're going online and saying this, and even things I didn't tell you, you're twisting my words, you're stretching shit. Like, whoa, you know. But you have to consider the source, you guys. Like I said, we keep going back to the source. We gave this person more than they could afford to hold, and that's why they dropped the ball. They couldn't do it. They were already doing it in a relationship, which led to the ending as it is. But now they have nothing to hide. So when they come out and their character is being revealed even more so. Because here's the thing. Let's say you're a just person let's say you're being honorable. Let's say you're dealing with this person out of the utmost character and respect, right? And this person still chose to do this. See, your character isn't going to change because of them. You know, you don't have to tit for tat because of them. Like, oh, they went on here and spilled all these lies about me. I'm going to go run on my platform and spill a bunch of lies about them. No. Number one, I'm not giving you any shine. You're unworthy of that, you know? And number two, my character doesn't change based on other people's behaviors. That's called emotional maturity. My integrity is what it is. You know, I'm not going to go talk about this person's family and friends business, or try to twist it up or make them into something that they're not, because that person was doing it to me. But what happens is they end up proving your case inadvertently. They're trying so hard to make you look one way, and they end up making themselves look a certain way, especially when they get manic and when they're obsessive and that mental illness start coming out of them, you know? And it proves also, you guys, that they're hurt. What happy person? It doesn't make sense, right? What happy person is going to manically post all this stuff about you on their social media? If you're so happy, you would not have another word to say about that person. You would not need to make a smear campaign about them. As a matter of fact, you don't have shit to prove. Like, I'm so happy and at peace. This person is out of my life. I could just keep it moving. The fact that they got to keep circling back, they got to keep talking about this shit, posting it a million times a day and this and that, or whatever they're doing with this smear campaign, it lets you know that they are super hot and bothered. Because people that are who have released the situation, who moved on, will not do shit like this. So this person is more bothered than you could ever know. And that's the part that you kind of have to be careful about, especially if you know that they have a history of stalking people or getting restraining orders put on them. It's like, maybe this is why. This person don't know how to move the fuck on and keep people's names out of their mouth. So we don't, you have to gauge it with them and use your emotional maturity from your interactions with this person to figure it out. But honestly, smear campaigns can even come from strangers. But through the years of me running this channel, there have been, I want to say two, possibly three. Nope, 3 people. Yep, there have been 3 people. 2 people in the community and one person that was one of the survivors. We'll put survivors in quote as things have been revealed to me lately. One of the survivors' exes took it upon themselves to start smearing me. 2 of them from the community smeared me because I did not partner up with them on a project. So they got upset and smeared me. And with that, you guys, I will say, like, there's a lot of narcissists in this community pretending to be healers and pretending to be wanting to help people. And you'll hear their stories and it'll sound like yours, but what you won't know is that they're actually projecting and they are twisting the whole plot and switching the whole narrative, and they were the wrongdoer. And but because you guys don't know them and it sounds right, and ideally, yeah, if the person is a narcissist, they probably are doing these things, but you are like completely supporting a narcissist, and this person is hurt a lot of people and done a lot of things out of a lack of integrity and character. Now, there are channels where people just say, hey, I really am a narcissist and this is what I know. At least they're open about it, but there are definitely a lot of covert ones that pretend, But I've seen it all at this point. I've really seen it all, but they have some of them, most of them, I would say they all, have these bird brains, and the way that they perceive things is just so limited because they have this lack of emotional maturity themselves, and they don't even know how you think, I hesitated as to even making this video because I know someone's manically right now posting stuff, and I was like, do I want to really give them this much tea? Do I want to help them out in this way at all? But yeah, when they're manically making these smear campaigns, a lot of times it's proving your case, especially to the people on their side of the fence, you know. But it also lets you know that chances are, if they're making these smear campaigns, it may be basically lowering their attempts to be coming back to you at this point. I'm not saying that someone can't smear campaign someone and try to hoover them, but a lot of times if they're trying to set up a narrative, they're going to have to try to make it look good. So it means that they're at least going to be leaving you to fuck alone. And it's like, well, you know what? I don't really care what they think about me anyway. If it fills their heart to run over there and talk shit about me and my family or whatever the case is, or our interactions and what I thought we had was real, which is fake or whatever, if that suits their heart, but it keeps them the fuck away from you, that's a win too. That's a win. That's a win. That's a win. All right. And I want you guys to start seeing it from these angles. And on a deeper level, it does reveal more details on their toxic trains of thoughts as well, and their plans. Actually, they'll start saying things. It will show the jealousy. It'll show the envy. It'll even show someone got close to me just because they wanted to be me. That has happened to me. Someone got close to me because they actually want to be me. Like, as far as like my platform. And for years, they were like mirroring, trying to mimic my platform and try to be like Coach Lakia or something. Now, granted, there are lots of people in the community that do this work, and that's fine. But this person, the way that they were going about it and doing it was completely ass backwards. It was completely backward. They were like basically trying to steal my identity, and they were like a very bad knockoff. Very classless and tasteless because they didn't have the real education. So when people are doing the smear campaigns and stuff, and God reveals this to you, is going to actually show you a lot about their toxic train of thoughts and their future plans and stuff. Yeah. Now, on an even more deeper level, these smear campaigns actually is creating a dark karma for them as well. Is creating this karma for them, and it blocks their dark magic to you if they're into that type of thing, which they're probably trying to do. Because when you are smear campaigning someone, you are sending them an evil eye. You have ill will on them. Whether you're literally saying this or not, your behavior and energetically, this is what you're doing. But they're actually blocking their own dark magic because they can't release it. They're too much holding on to it. So that same dark energy that they're trying to spill into you is actually spilling into their own life. That's why they're the ones panicking. That's why they're the ones posting all those messages. That's why they're the ones talking about all this negativity and not being able to let it go and doing this post day in, day out. Like, it's just ongoing. It's like, how long is this going to take? How long is this going to take for this so-called happy person that's moving on? Right? There's confirmation. They're blocking their own dark magic and they're wondering why it doesn't work. It doesn't work, number one, because you're not God. Stop trying to play God. Number two, you're too much in the energy of it yourself, fool. How you gonna be filled with resentment, filled with hate, filled with so much nastiness and vindictiveness, and think that you're releasing that onto someone else? No, you're harboring it for yourself, idiot. It's like you're just looking at, this person and thinks they're going to outsmart God. You're not. He's always going to use something for your good. And that smear campaign, like I said in the beginning, is to reinforce to you guys why you need to keep this person out of your kingdom, why they should never be able to sit at your table again. And it lets you clearly see, because maybe the smaller hints and nudges were not doing it for you. So now you can really see who you're dealing with right now. And they should never be able to come back from this. Trust me, one day they'll try to. And that is completely up to your intelligence at that point. They should never be able to come back from those types of levels of disloyalty, because you can never trust a person like that. You can never let them be close to anything you have going on. There'll always be a Judas in your life. Always be a Judas. So when we talk about them building up the dark the karma and all of that stuff, you guys, is actually blessing you in more ways than one, because everything is a yin and a yang. So if they're harboring all that negative energy, then it's actually making you lighter, because they're not actually able to send those evil eyes, and they're out of your energy. So it's giving you rest and rejuvenation. You might actually, your ego and your emotions might not appreciate them talking shit in one hand, but actually, if you are actually releasing the situation and going through the healing process appropriately, you're going to start feeling lighter and better. You will. You will. You will. You just have to get over your emotions as far as for those personal relationships. You trusted them with this or that. They know about something, and then, they're completely reckless. And understand that God sees everything. He really does. He really does. A lot on this earth is ran by a lot of devilish energies, but God sees it all. If you allow him, if you give it to him, come to him like, this person is smearing me, God, I need your guidance on this. I want you to take the steering wheel on my behalf. If you really give that to him, he's really going to take care of that for you. Iced Out, I'm trying to read your comment. Hold on. You says, but if they do a smear campaign, they won't try to return. Yeah, I was just talking about that. They could in the future, because especially if it's a narcissist, they could in the future, but they may not. I mean, it really depends on their intentions and your intentions. So whether they try to return or not, if you know this is not going to be a safe haven for them, like, there's no welcome here for you. You're no friend of mine's ever again. I don't care how many times you think you're going to try to return. I don't think so, buddy. But isn't that like an audacity? I'm going to smear you and return to you. Isn't there like a level of crazy egotistical audacity involved with that? Like, I get to smear campaign you and I get to return. The smear campaign in that manipulative way, yes. A manipulative abuser could try to break you down. Like, oh, maybe if I smear this person, I'll break them down. It's equivalent to a child who may not have as much self-esteem, and they're getting bullied by someone, and the bully gets them to be submitted to giving them their lunch every day. They're coming home hungry, and then the parent is like, why are you coming home starving? I've been giving you might even lie and cover for the bully, because they've been emotionally beaten to submission, and they've made the bully bigger than them, and they don't see their way out of it, or don't know how to handle the situation, or I don't know if they've been abused in other ways. Like, a smear campaign could be to try to beat somebody into submission. It could be, and if they're doing that, for them to return. Because the more that the abuser can break you down, the higher your threshold will be for the abuse. And if they were already verbally abusing you in the relationship, and you haven't healed that part of you, and they start making these smear campaigns, it's possible that someone could think, oh yeah, I'm stupid, maybe I am, da, 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 da. And then on social media, they could have all these people joining in on it. And if you don't know who you are, it could make you prime for a return, or at minimal, a smear campaign could be a last resort of a narcissist or a toxic person trying to throw a dart at you on the way out the door. Like, oh yeah, you're going to give me an injury. Oh yeah, you think you're just going to walk away from me? Well, you know, to some, especially the lower range narcissists, this might be all that they have. Shit, they may not have money. They may not own a home. They may not own a car. They may not have a goddamn thing but their mouth and a goddamn cell phone. All they have to snap back, all they have to try to get back at you is running their mouths and trying to talk shit about you. But what if you ain't listening? And what if you don't even care? You know, what if you're just collecting evidence on them in case you need to use it? Like these people, they don't get it. You know, like that's why I had to call them bird brains. Even when they think they're being a mastermind in the eyes of God, they're just a fucking flea, a fucking tick. You know? And they think that they're hurting you when they're really exposing themselves, because most of them cannot do this in a classy manner. Most of them, it's very obvious that they're hateful when they're smear campaigning, that they are attacking other people. It's very obvious to anybody with common sense, you know, not to the people that think like them, that are on their low vibrational way of being, but to anybody with any type of emotional maturity. They observe this behavior is probably very shocking. And it exploits them way more, because who would do that? Just think about it. They're not getting paid to do it. So you're taking time out of your happy life to come on social media and talk shit about other people. You're not getting, this isn't a celebrity blog. This isn't your job. You are literally taking your energy, and that's what you're using it for. But you're happy and at peace on the inside? No. All of that manic posting is a direct representation of the inner turmoil that they're having because they don't have you anymore. And I do believe that a lot of people, this is where the mental illness comes in. They really tend to believe their own lies at a certain point. So if they can run with this narrative, it's a way to protect their ego. And now they don't have to face accountability to why they are outside of somebody's kingdom, why you had to dump them, or why you said, I don't give a fuck about the discard because I don't want you back. No way. You know what I mean? Like when they're in those type of situations, their first train of thought is, I need to protect my ego. I need to protect my image. So I'm just going to make this person look like a bad guy. But it's very short-sighted. Why can't things just not work out? Why does anybody have to be a bad guy? But they're so emotionally stunted that they have to, well, one person has to be good and another person has to be bad. How fucking old are you? You know, like I just sit and observe the behaviors, and it's astonishing. And these are people like there's no age limit. There's no age limit to this, you guys. Like I see this, yes, high school behavior, but it could be people retired, still in this energy. God gave them decades, over half century, 60, 70, 80 years old. Still ain't get it. You coming back, baby. You're coming back to try this again. You're going to come back because you have a ways to go. You have a ways to go if this is all that you have. And there's confirmation right there. But yeah, I don't want anybody, you know, I'm not saying that you can't be human. Yes, it hurts. But if you start learning to look at things from another perspective, it will help you through that situation, you know? And if they're just spilling a bunch of lies anyway, which oftentimes is definitely what they're doing, you know, they're twisting lies, stretching the truth, making shit up. And even if they tell something that could be truthful, like, you just got to stand strong with who you are. Like I've been saying this through the years, like if the whole world were against me, I would still love me. If the whole world was against me, I'm still going to be solid because I fill up my own cup. Now we're just talking about one person here doing a smear campaign. And sometimes, you know, they can have a little groupies or people who may not even know the truth. Innocent people they pull into it and just told a bunch of fucking lies to. That's where we got the Becky term from, right? That somebody is going to accuse a Black person of something and bring other innocent people into it, And that's why the world needs to increase its emotional maturity, because you will learn, well, let me talk to this other person. Let me get their side of it. Why the fuck, especially if this person has a shaky ass background, which most narcissists do. They have a trail of shit going on. So the people that's just swallowing everything whole, they're probably just strangers or people like them or family members who just stay quiet about it or enable it. Our family members are like, what can we do? They are who they are. You know what I mean? But yeah, the smear campaigns, they happen, baby. They happen to everybody. And one day I humbled myself and I thought about God. I was like, how many people betrayed him? What type of shit? Like a whole nation turned against him. You know what I mean? Like, and when he was in human form. So you're not the only one that has been betrayed, and you're not the only one who has had a smear campaign. But guess what? This was the person that was, and this is in my faith, dying for the whole world's sins. So guess what? If you ain't got no haters, you ain't popping. So the harder this smear campaign is, that means the more beautiful of a soul you are. That means the more light you had inside you, the more energy that these people or person is willing to actually put into trying to bring you down. That means you had some beautiful things going on with you, baby. And that person is kicking and screaming and devastated. That is their way of crying out, because their ego is not going to allow them to say, damn, I fucked up. It's just going to say, well, you know what? I fucked up, but at least I could try to hold my ego and swaddle my ego through this situation. Let me try to throw darts at this chosen one that's completely protected by God, I might add. That's completely going to be doing fucking well, I might add. And this is how you guys have to see this. If you ain't got no haters, you ain't popping. Okay? They're hating you because they're not you. They're hating you because they're mad they needed your light. They're hating you because they still don't have the light that you have, no matter how much they try to mimic that shit. Okay? They wishing they could be in your spot. They're sour ass bitches. Like, they're sour pussies. And you have to see that. And anybody that's popping, anybody that's successful is going to be haters. It's going to be somebody talking shit about them. It's a crab in a barrel thing. But you elevate so high, it don't matter how many smear campaigns this person say. It just don't even make sense. Like, let it get to the point where them fools over there smearing on you. And then people, a smart person might say, who the hell is this person they talking about anyway? Let me go check on them. And they go compare the profiles. They be like, this person ain't talking about them. They seem to be living their best life. Damn. They're achieving shit, moving and shaking, moving the fuck on. See, they're in a stuck energy. This smear campaign is a clear indication that they're in a stuck energy. They're stuck on you. And all they can do, because they were a groupie. In some cases, it's pure groupie ass energy, just salty as fuck. Like, I don't get that anymore. And they're acting out because, like I said, emotionally stunted, you guys. Emotionally stunted. But they don't know how ridiculous it looks. And you can just, I'm not going to say laugh at, because sometimes, they get real disrespectful and they real out of pocket, and they're trying to hoover you back in. And that's the thing. When they know that you're done with them, done, they're like, well, are they done? Well, maybe if I say something crazy, maybe if I talk about their passed away mother, or I'm going to get them to resurface somehow. They're not going to go no contact on me. I'm going to push a button. I'm going to find a way. I know it's something I could say. It's something I could smear about them that's going to get them to the point to where they're going to break. Even if I get the negative energy or they call me and curse me out, they talking to me again. You see what I'm saying? Like, don't give them that. Do not give them that. You keep a strong face if you have to. Don't you turn back to that person. Don't ask them why they smearing you. They smearing you because they ain't shit. They smearing you because they're evil. They're smearing you because they're full of darkness. They're smearing you because they don't really love you. That's not friendship. That's not love. So there's no question. You don't have to ask them why they're trying to fuck you over. Just all you need to see is that they're doing it. And that has to become enough, you guys. All right? Do not give them the satisfaction. Let them starve them. Let them be on the desert all by themselves. You know what? If you want to have a fan page over there, if you want to spend your whole life posting about me, if you want to be stuck on me, that's on you. You know what I mean? It has to, like I said, if you ain't got no haters, you ain't popping. And the harder people, I'm like, damn, I must be popping because the way these people be hating at times, damn, is it that deep, baby? So Iced Out says, I told him why he's so upset with me. He the one that moved on. I told him I thought if a person moved on, aren't you supposed to be happy? Right, because they're not really happy. He's forced to move on because you're done. You see what I'm saying? You're done. They don't really, who wants to really move on from a good person but an idiot? Who really wants to move on from somebody that was showing them real love but an idiot? And even in their idiocracy, at a certain point, they were like, oh, shit, I fucked up. I don't really want to let them go. that was my Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde. I'm trying to be good now. I want it back. Nah, you can go on and stay where you at. You can go on and stay where you at. They're not really happy. Okay, if you was really a good person, come on. That's just, they're not really happy about that. But, it's really just a display of how unhappy they really are. Like, that person is hurt. Like, somebody need to give them a hug. Like, some shit that I've witnessed over the last week, somebody need to give that fucking person a hug. Because if I'm the only person that was showing you love and you have to turn around and do that, does anybody else in your life love you? They need to give you some more hugs so that there's confirmation, so that you can move on past me. Let somebody love you more than I did so that you can move past me, because, yeah, that's frightening. That shit was frightening. I'm like, goodness. Now, I've survived and thrived many smear campaigns, and it's because I know who the fuck I am. And that person never, ever had the permission to decide who the fuck I was. So I don't care what comes out of your mouth. As long as you away from me, shoot. I seen the stuff. I was like, okay, well, I seen enough. Thanks for letting me see that, God. I appreciate it. We've collected a little bit of evidence in case we need to do the next step. But dang, that person needs a hug. That's all I'm going to say. They need a damn hug. But it ain't going to come from us. Don't you go, Let them stay very miserable and imbalanced at that point. All right, because they're telling on themselves. Yeah, smear campaigns, they happen. And, it can happen on all types of ways. I'm talking about personal relationships right now, but honestly, smear campaigns can happen on a professional level. Like, you want to outbeat the competition, so you spread rumors about this one's product and try to steal their customers. Like, smear campaigns and politics, they be trying to smear each other to get more votes. So this is nothing new. These are tactics by people who are trying to recruit and maintain their image. But sometimes the quiet one in these personal ways, in the personal sense, some interpersonal relationships, sometimes, that's the person that's going to come out on top, basically, because that other person is like being extra. It's like, what the hell? Like, they minding their business over there. They're minding their business because you're not taking the invitation. And then it just makes them look goofy and crazy and obsessed. So, yeah, it is what it is. They're not going anywhere. These smear campaigns aren't going anywhere, but it's just best to understand the best way to go about perceiving these, so that when it happens to you, because it happens to everybody, it happens to everybody in some shape, form, or fashion. Somebody spreading rumors about you, that's a smear campaign, on the smallest of level and between a friend group. It happens, but know who you are and consider the source. And if that person is stripped of the authority to define who you are, and if you've stripped yourself of needing the acceptance of certain people, you don't need the people in their camp to accept you at this point. The relationship is over. Even if it was a marriage sense and these were your in-laws, it is what it is. You're divorcing this person or you've divorced this person. People going to think what they want to think. And this should prove you right here. Because if you were real to this person, this narcissist, in your relationship, and they still wanted to smear you and make you into what they actually were, that lets you know you can't love a person into being real. You can't love a person into seeing the truth. They're still going to live in the reality that they want to live in. They're going to project the reality that they want to project. No matter how hard you love them, no matter how much you were there for them, they still going to do what the fuck they want to do. And that's why you can't go giving all of that to anybody. You really can't, you guys. These smear campaigns are lessons to let you understand, you let somebody get access too fucking quick, or you weren't paying attention to certain other signs and they were able to get this far with you. That's oftentimes you've given your loyalty to a person that was disloyal to you, that was fake with you, So we have to vet people. We have to take slow, move slow. Let people earn the right to get close to you. Let them earn that. But what we're not going to do is we're not stooping into nobody's level. What Michelle Obama said, when they fly low, we fly high. Because if you do that, we're never going to meet. You're just going to stay the fuck down there with the sewer. Stay down there with the sewer, baby. I'm flying high up into the heavens. You know what I mean? I don't have time for that. And when you do that and you really just give it to God, because you understand if you ain't got no haters, you ain't popping. When you about something, that's going to happen no matter what. It could be a stranger you never even talked to a day in your life. I've had that happen. People just did this. I'm like, whoa, who the hell is, I don't even know your damn name. But people will hate because it's something inside of them that is disturbed by your light or by whatever you got going on. Like I said, there's jealousy, there's envy. All right. And they take their infatuation with you and they hate you for the same reasons they love you. Like, it's very twisted. It's a very twisted thing. They love it because they want it for themselves, but they hate that you have it. But instead of doing the work so that they can have it in a pure way, they feel like striking you down and doing this and that somehow lifts them up energetically. No, nigga, it's pushing you down. It's giving you karma, dummy. Don't you have enough of that? Narcissists, they just like bumping their heads. They love it because they're so disillusioned and they believe their own lies. They don't even realize when God been spanking your ass for like the last decade for all your fucking life. Like, you don't think you've been getting payback? You have. But because they blame other people, my pockets got holes in them. I can't even hold on to $1. Why you think that is? Why you think that is? Now you're meeting manipulative people that's just taking advantage of you. Why you think that is? Because you didn't want the other type of person. So the universe was like, oh, okay, you don't want people that treat you good. Oh, you want people like you? Okay. So for the rest of your life, you're not going to get a person like that again. You don't deserve to get another person like that. Shouldn't even deserve to be able to look in that direction. But that's fair. That's fair. And they don't understand when they're getting these repercussions. Why? Because they're going to blame it on, it's their fault. It's their fault. No, there's some universal laws that affect here. And, A plus B equals C. All right. It's going to come back around. But you keep minding, don't get distracted, because that's the other thing. These smear campaigns, they want to try to emotionally distract you because then you can't focus on your life. Like, no, God This is usually when you're coming into a smear campaign, after these breakups. So you end in a cycle with somebody and God's about to promote you. So this person can't come with you. They're mad, of course. So now they're running their mouth. They're smear campaigning you. God, like, don't look back. I'm promoting you. You have bigger fish to fry. Don't you dare look back at them fleas. You focus on where I'm trying to take you, and you keep it moving there. Keep it moving there, and let your life speak for itself. The people who have known you, seen where you came from, see where you're going, see where you're at now, it's undisputable at that point. See, when God is moving in your life, the smear campaign, like, especially with them lower range narcissists, it won't even be logical. Like, their family might as well go ahead on and get them, let them go ahead on and get their minds evaluated, because the math won't be math. And it's like, how the hell is you calling this person a bad mother and this and that? Like, we watching this bitch and she's a good mother. What the fuck? Where's your bath coming from? It's coming from the yellow bus. That's where it's coming from. And this is no offense to anyone that has any learning disabilities. Trust and believe, because that's not what I'm at. These are for people. I'm talking about evil people right now. All right, they're on the spiritual yellow bus. Okay, spiritual yellow bus, and that's why they would be in a spiritual jail, where things turn their back on them because you did too much. See, they are by any means necessary. They have no respect for order. They have no respect for God. They try to play God. That's the crazy part. Like, you got to answer for that. Don't you know you got to answer for that? Like, God literally turned his back on you, and you don't want that. You do not want that. And they're going to have to answer for it. And I know it hurt. Like, I've been in my own situations where I just cried out to God, like, I know I had a pure heart towards this person. And all they did was throw a dagger and threw daggers at me. And he said, don't worry, I got you. I got you. And then a lot of times when these smear campaigns is, like I said, when you're being promoted, he's already compensating you for your pain and suffering. He's already giving it back to you. It's just that your emotions need to catch up with your logic. He's already giving it back. Like, it might be simultaneously happening. Like, damn, like, and it might make you feel like, I want to enjoy my promotion, but here's this sourpuss trying to distract me. No, cut that right on off. See it for what it is. That's just a hater being a hater. And you're going to always have them. So you better learn how to deal with it now. If you about something and you plan to go even further in life and lift up, you can have your whole hometown hating on you. You better be smart enough to know not to take your behind back there, or to only deal with it in a certain way. You have to understand life, you guys. And if you ain't got no haters, you ain't popping. So the higher you elevate, it's going to happen. And it could be the people closest to you. All of a sudden, because you're growing, they're not growing with you. The envy and the jealousy start brewing. Okay, you guys start growing apart, and now all of a sudden, this one talking shit about you. Like, wait a minute, you was with me. You seen me getting it out the mud, and now you're the one talking shit about me? Look, it's real, you guys. It is so real. And that's why when we learn life, we won't be surprised by these things, and we can handle it out of our emotional maturity and not respond out of our emotions, because then it's going to make them look correct. You go, well, fine. If you could do it, I could do it too. You want to spew all that dark energy? I'm going to do it about, don't tit for tat with them. You ain't on their level. That's the thing. They're not on your level, and you're not going down to theirs. Do not do it, because it's going to fill you up with a certain energy, and it's going to distract you from where you need to be focused. And then they're winning in another way. All right, you guys. So the smear campaigns is real. Like I said, they're not going anywhere. And we have to have the right frame of mind. Okay, I'm not saying that it won't sting sometimes, because look, what happened to God? Judas was with the 12 disciples. Judas was one of them. He's seen God performing miracles and all types of shit, and he still turned on them. He still turned on them.
They're not giving me noodles.
Hold on a minute. So the kids are going back to school in like what, a week? Thank you, Jesus. But yeah. But Judas, he's seen it, you guys, and he's still like, that's bold as fuck. Like, whoa. But the guilt got to him, and he hung himself for that. The guilt got to him. And you're welcome, Iced Out. I hope that this chat has helped somebody, because it's real. It's real out here. And I don't know if I'm going to keep this up. Like I said, you guys, I'm really revamping this channel. So I might have live chats that be up, and who's ever divinely guided to them can come in, and either I'll make them private. It depends, because I'm revamping some things on the channel. I have some things going on as far as for the community and stuff. I'm working on a project. So all of that good stuff. But I might pop in from time to time. The lives might come up, and then they might be private, to where I don't know if I will ever make them public again. But whoever divinely comes through. So just keep notified. And if you want to be notified when I come in. But yeah, don't worry about what them bottom feeders got to say. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's always going to be somebody with something to say. You could be donating, be the most charitable person, and it still ain't going to be enough for one motherfucker in the room. You know what I mean? Like, those type of people, don't worry about it. You ain't got to change anybody's mind. You don't have to prove a goddamn thing. As a matter of fact, I love that silent confidence. I've learned to have that in a lot of cases. People smear me. I have silent confidence. Let them believe what they have to believe. That's on them. And the more energy they putting into it, like I said, it shows how hurt they are. Because happy people don't do that. Busy, productive people don't do that. They got too much time on their hands. Too much time. But that's on them. That's on them. All they doing is blessing you, because the yin got to be with the yang. If you hating on me, God going to be loving on me. He going to love on me that much more because you hated on me that hard. It's going to, it has to balance itself out. So while they think that they're sending you all this hate, they're sending you more love, because it has to balance out. The love has to balance out the hate. All right. Stay prayerful, stay with God, tell him about it. And you don't have to keep doing this all day, every day. You had that conversation with God, that one good conversation, give it to him, wrap it up, and trust it. He's taken care of it. Now you focus on what you need to do and keep your face forward. Now, there are some situations, I'm not going to lie, where you might have to take a few more steps, where it's like, okay, this person is obsessive. They're calling me nonstop. They're doing this. They're coming by my house. Okay, you might need a protective order and then some. But what I was saying, those cases, don't just get a protective order. You make sure that you protect yourself all the way around, because them pieces of paper, and I've seen all types of domestic violence, them sheets of paper ain't stopped most of them women from losing their lives or nothing. You better get you some pepper spray. You better have a license to carry. You better put some video cameras outside your house, on your car. You protect yourself to the highest level that you need to. If you can move so this fool don't know your address no more, do it as soon as you can, if you can. If not, protect yourself. But don't just be with no sheet of paper, because if they don't respect your boundaries, trust me, they ain't respecting no piece of paper either. So please, please keep yourself protected. Use your emotional maturity. Keep track, if you need it to. Now, if it's just some dipsy narcissist that's just trying to say dumb shit and they ain't going to really do nothing else, fine. Screenshot some of it. Boom. If you want to check in from time to time, make sure their mind ain't going crazy, because like I said, sometimes it could tell a future action. Now, I'm going to say this part too. Because yes, thank you, God, for reminding me about this part. If you have an on and popping career and all of this and other stuff, also be careful that they're not trying to bait you into situations that could jack you up. Because you wasn't born yesterday. And you're not taking the bait anyway, but I just want to throw that out there. Sometimes if they can't eat with you, it'll be, you ever heard that situation? If I can't have you, I don't want nobody to have you. Well, if I can't be with you during your good career, then I'm going to try to find a way to ruin it. I'm going to have you in and out of courts. I'm going to try to make false claims, especially for you men out there, or shoot, even if you in a lesbian relationship, okay, Like, do not let people try to play you, because it's like they want to sabotage your life because their shit is fucked up. It's not my fault that you messed up our relationship, or that, look, it's over, it's over. It's over, it's over. It's not my fault if they didn't make as much money as you. You got the same 24 hours as me, sis, bro. Maybe if you wasn't focused on smearing motherfuckers, you could get your bread up too. You know what I mean? Maybe God would be blessing you more if you wasn't being so hateful towards others. But they don't understand universal laws. They're not getting it. They don't understand why they're not blessed, or the only blessings they can have is off of the other people that may be in their circle that's getting blessed. So you're getting blessed by default because you still have other people around you that may be blessed. But you better hope those people never leave your ass, because you're going to be fucked. And that's if they don't leave you quicker than you think. So, yeah, their payback is coming. You don't need to wait around for it. The number one part in the payback that you can have is by just being unbothered. Now, I believe that video is still up, how to be unbothered. I made a couple of videos on that. But the art of unbotheredness, yes. Because why the hell am I going to lose sleep over somebody that don't love me, that ain't really my friend, that don't give a fuck about me, and that's really just trying to sabotage my life? I'm going to lose sleep over what you're saying about me when you're just trying to bring me down to your level so that I'll be unsuccessful like you, so that my life will fall apart like you, so I could be a little vibrational like you, depressed like you. No, thank you. No, thank you. But you can't tell a bird brain nothing. So let them have, this is their moment. This is the moment of their life, honestly. Talking about you gives them a gush. They feel alive. Like, it's the highlight of their day. Yeah, like I get to talk about, because they can't talk to you in a normal way now. So that's all they left with doing. That's the only way they could stay connected to you now, is by smearing you in this negative ass way. And hope that energetically you'll be so low vibrational that it'll suck you back in with them. I don't think so. We better than that around here. We better than that. That's the problem right now. Y'all was on two different wavelengths, not even in the same page, not in the same fucking book. And it needs to stay that way. Why the hell would I want to be where you are? That looks pathetic. It looks pathetic and desperate and obsessive and manic, extremely manic. So look, know who you are, and it won't matter who tries to formulate any type of smear campaign on you. It'll be like, if you ain't got no haters, you ain't popping. You see it from a mile away. Oh, okay, yeah. You'll see the angle. You'll see the angle. But just like I said in the beginning, let it solidify why they have to stay the fuck where they at. They're reinforcing. They're reinforcing the no contact. They're reinforcing them being banned from your kingdom. They're reinforcing the disloyalty. They're reinforcing the lack of friendship. They're reinforcing anything positive you thought you had in that relationship. Yeah. But they're used to being rewarded for their poor behaviors by toxic empaths that aren't balanced. Toxic empaths that need too much healing in themselves. Yeah, so I'm gonna leave it there. That's a good hour. I hope this talk helps somebody. I don't know. Let me know. Should we leave this live up or not? But yeah, I remember when I was a little girl, like in Trenton, New Jersey, I used to listen to Power 99, and they had this song called You Dodo Bird, You Dodo Bird. It was kind of like the Charlemagne's donkey of the day type of thing. And it kind of reminds me of like these smear campaigns. It's definitely the donkeys of the day. And it's like day after day at that point. But hey, they're making a shrine of energy and resources they'll never be able to tap into again. That's a sad day for a narcissist. All right. With that being said, it's a sad day for them, but it's damn sure a win for you. They lost the war. They lost the war. They lost the war. All right, you guys, take care, and I will see you in the next live chat. Love you guys.